Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all Liberian, anywhere you find yourself. We are going through a lot of difficulties in our country, and we all have to come together to handle the situation going on in our country. We have to contribute by all means. This time around, we have to defeat the evil-minded people who trying to take away the little peace we enjoy in our country. Um, People who trying to organize December 30 protests against the government. I want all of us to know that this kind of demonstration or protest is not in the interest of us. Those people are only trying to uh, play on our mind to cause problem in Liberia as they did before in 1989 to 2004. The same people who gathered together before are the same people who coming on together. But there are a lot of issues all of us have to understand. Liberia is the only country we all have and is the only country we all share in common. That's why we have to stand for the peace that we enjoy in Liberia today. The issue is not about President, His Excellency President George Manawia. The issue is about the country and the peace we enjoy. That we have to maintain that peace. Whatsoever going on, in any condition, we the youth, many of us, we grew up in the world. We never enjoy any good life in Liberia by the so-called politician and the so-called people who call themselves American Liberian. But I want you to understand all those terms. Those days are over. American Liberian was only used to a specific group of people. But this time around, the table has turned around. The same 1989 war, the bring in Liberia as a revolution war, whatsoever they may call it before. They thought they could use that against all, and which of course they were using it against all. Many of our brothers and sisters who could not understand them, they joined them from the beginning of the revolution. For example, Senator PYJ, at the beginning, he joined the so-called American Liberian, and after some time he realized thing was not in the interest of the indigenous Liberian, the native Liberian, the proper Liberian, the 16 tribal people. He deviated from them. And the same people this time around, they have come together playing on all. Can you imagine? The country is moving ahead. And they're playing on us. They're talking about economic is going down or so on. But let's ask ourselves certain question. What we want from our president, whether President George Manawia, or whosoever in power, is to develop the country. The developments are going on in the country. We agree there's an economic crisis going on in the country. We all have to join hands to solve those problems. As far as we concern Liberian people in general, we are two main religious group in Liberia. That is Christianity and Islam. What I'm trying to mention religious thing here, I'm speaking in general things today, as a way of counseling people so we can understand and we go away from this kind of atrocity people want to cause in our country, or they want to bring to us. The time around, things have changed. If you look at the Bible history and the Quranic history, everybody in the world have to work very, very hard to be a successful people. When food used to come from heaven and to people during Prophet Moses' time, both Islamic history and Christianity history, that is the same. The Israelites pray to God. We want us to be working with our own hand and get our food from it. In short, I'm not quoting the Bible direct or the Quran direct, but just in summary of that history and so on. So that clear to us that every man have to work very hard. Even God himself is able to do everything, but he cannot do everything for us at the same time. So our effort, human effort, is needed. So we turn it around, bring it down to human level. The president or the government, they cannot be the only way forward for all of us. All of us have to join hands, work hard to make things possible for ourselves. President is making road, providing security, electricity. For God's sake, I'm so frustrated in us, we the youth of Liberia, especially the student of UL. First in the history, that pronouncement made under the government that tuition or school fee in Liberia to that of university is free. People enjoying from it. They see youth are protesting against the same president who gave them the opportunity. And when he made that pronouncement or that announcement, I personally preach against that. That no, that is kind of breakdown of things. You don't have to start building the house from the top. That was my comment I made. He shall make the high school, elementary school free rather than that UL. But the same UL they gave them the opportunity are the same UL people. Those so-called political vampires are using them against the same ruling government or the current government in our country. If you look at the history of Liberia, the development that are going on, these are the kind of development we need. Hospital, training of professional people. These are the kind of development we need. Let me tell people one thing. Whenever development is going on in any country around the world, there will be such a problem that's going on in our country. Any country that is underdeveloped and is taking a step for development, economic crisis will be there. Why? The money will not be flowing through. Now we come to the other area where other people are saying corrupt. Our president My big brother, President George Manawia, as other people calling him, Bekugbe, we too have to be talking, uh, I mean, bear to bear talk to ourselves and to him. He's fighting corruption in Liberia in his own capacity. Can you imagine people in the house, whether being representatives or senators, taking money, 15,000 or over 15,000 for no good reason? A lot of them in that house, the district or the county they representing, they are not doing nothing for that county. These are the issues we, the youth of Liberia, have to protest against. Those that were elected in the house, what are the projects they carry on? 2 years, or 3 years, or 6 months? What are the projects they carry on in our community, in our district, in our county? If nothing, then we protest against them to revoke or to vote inconvenient against them, to take them from the house. President or the executive power, they are doing all the necessary means that every government around the world can do it for its citizens. This economic crisis is all over the world. The Great France, as you can see on the street, people were protesting there, the same civil servants, nurses and others. It's all over the world. But we all have to come together. The youth, we don't have to allow those people to manipulate our mind. And there are a lot of people we need to ask a great question and get a good result from them. Like Henry Costa. Firstly, for every country, I think there's a rules and regulations set up for a media. We have to question Henry Costa whether he get his show going on. That's it, okay. But if he's a satisfied or a licensed journalist or broadcaster to host shows or to broadcast any news in Liberia, we have to find out and get this result. Social people, they just, because the social media is free and because they can buy software and just a little money and sit in their house or sit somewhere and start making a show. You can register your organization, whether it's a TV show or whatsoever show. That's different. The organization may be registered where clear. That means the organization is legal organization, but the operator as well. Liberian people, we have to be wise, especially with the youth. We that are going to school. A media person or personine, a journalist, must have an operator license, which giving the authority to be on the media, on the public media. Henry Costa is not that kind of person. So the law of Liberia, the House or the judiciary, the Minister of Justice, Temple of Justice, have to question him as we're in line with Ministry of Telecommunication and Ministry of Information. They have to question him, not his organization or his show. I don't want to go into that. Then the issues are too much. We can't able to handle all. But what I want to say here, we the youth have to forget about coming on the street. Let's look at the other way around. Liberia, our tradition. This is the month from the 15th upward to January 1st is a time we all share joy in common. Those people with less interest of we the ordinary people, they want to destroy all those joy. Businesses, people who went to China, Dubai, around the world, they brought in their goods. Those goods almost like stock. People will be thinking there's a protest coming on the territory, or there's a demonstration coming on. We need to get food in our houses, not clothes, not material things. They are the one breaking down the economic, not the government. Think of it. A time we have to share joy together. That's a time they want to bring problem to Liberia. For that alone, you have to avoid it. For that alone, you have to avoid any protest in December till after New Year, whatsoever. Then you may think of it, or you may go through the proper channel and see what will happen. But think of it. It's a December. Lot of all the short time we have, we hustle around downwater side, around our market to get a little thing to pay our school fees or to help ourselves. That's the time they want to destroy. You may see a lot of people, businesses are going on in Morovia now. Many people, but everybody's selling on the street, but people are not buying because of people scared. People don't want to release their money. Now we come to the so-called Yeke Koluba, Honorable. I don't want to even mention the word Honorable Yeke Koluba. Representative Yeke Koluba. Come on, man. What kind of disgrace to us, we the youth? How can we elect such a person to represent us in the house? Someone who is not thinking of us. You know, when one of his press whatsoever in his some journalists asked him, are you in favor of salary reduction? He said no. No, he will not agree to that. This is the person representing you. We all know corruption all over. Even the anti-corruption commission that set up, they are corrupt. The only way someone can fight corruption in Liberia, that's the step the president, Dr. Bekube, His Excellency George Manawia, are taking it through the government sectors. Salary reduction, $15,000 for nothing, and the bonus, other facilities are not included for nothing. Not making a new law, new bill, or anything to develop the country. $15,000, and that was before. After the breakdown, that's the current one now they're receiving. Before, it was more than that. The money issue, a lot of Liberian people, we have to be smart. That particular money Yeke Koluba showing people is a fake money. I don't want to go into detail whether government is trying to print money or has printed new money. But let's look at the money and let's calculate the one Yeke Koluba showing. That's why he will never show a single note. He will always have it in his hand, bunched together, flash it to the camera. Those so-called journalists trying to make him famous, flash it to them. He will never bring it closer to them so they will look at it. That money is a counterfeit. It's a fake money. It's not real money. He just want to use that to cause problem in our country. Look, we all know Liberia currency. Anyone that watching this video, go back to Yeke Koluba video that he was showing on the front page, and then the other one when he came from the house with the same money he was showing to them. It look resemble like our money, but calculate the color. A proper, a mixed color, but pure white. We don't have that in our currency. It's off white. Whether it's brand new, any Liberian money with any white color inside is off white. And Yeke Koluba on he's showing with the mixed color, but the white. If you look at it, I watch it. I try to, analyze the video in my own way, and I see the money is kind of fake. Liberian people, Liberian youth, we can calculate. This is our problem. And the same Yeke Koluba say he will not agree his salary to be cut. Oh man, thank God to Senator Ibrahim. I used to oppose him, but he's talking well. I'm not saying he's doing well. He's talking well. His way of talking is in line with a lot of our dream. Because all of us, we are all Liberian. Our dream is one. Whether you American Liberian, you native Liberian. In fact, the word American Liberian way back will belong to one group, but this time around it belongs to all of us. Any Liberian, whether you were nationalized in America, whether you went there through green card or resettlement and so on, if you are American Liberian, you are American Liberian. Whether you are among the free slave people, back and front, you are there, half American, half Liberian, you are American Liberian. So we the native people, in fact, if you calculate our number now, we dominate them as American Liberian. So we shouldn't allow anybody to fool or we get we get words or say in America. That's what's them. All of us equal in Liberia and out of Liberia and as well in America. Lot of things, lot of damages have been caused in our country for so many years. We all have to look at those things, especially we the youth, to calculate and see if we can protest against some of these things, and government can come over to visit some contract that they signed before, to revisit them and reverse it, or whether to terminate it. Many things going on in Liberia is not in our interest. We the youth, it's not in the future generation interest. If we study, executive power is doing well. Senator Ibrahim said it clear. He said, since Liberia was founded, all those presidents who been heading Liberia, they are not the problem, but the house. I said it before, and it's clear. Our constitution is like death constitution. What I mean, death. That means the constitution doesn't have life, and that is a big problem. The constitution must have a life, and anything that have a life, it must grow. Anything that have to grow, it must change. But those things are not happening in our constitution. There's no changes are being made. What I mean, changes in the people interest, changes of today's. Example, a lot of things government put it in law before, some fine. Those in the 60s, in the 70s, up to now, those fine are the same, $2.50 fine. If we have to calculate, people in the house have to calculate. $2.50 at those days, the value of it, and what that $2.50 used to do those days, and we calculate and meet up with the time, what $1,000 or $1,000,000 during this time, and see if it's equal to that $2.50. Then we change some charges and bring it to that current time and generation that we live in today. But they are not talking about it. All they're talking about, president, we are president, is not competent, is this. Someone who is competent more than that, he's extra competent more than that. He's a man speaking English, speaking French with no interpreter. A lot of them, they will never. Even you put them to school right now, they will never. This is a man, oh, for God's sake, I was so sick and disappointed in Brother Jabate comment. Huh? We are dingo, bro. You said insulting our president. This is not part of Mandingo culture. This is not part of Islam. You were mentioning, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, I'm Muslim. I'm not afraid of that. You say, you believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Islam says to us, and I quote for you, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولو الأمر منكم. God said we should obey him and obey his messenger and our leaders, the authority, the president, the imams, the pastors, our chiefs, community leaders. God said we should obey them. You were proud. I'm a Muslim. Insulting our president in public, on social media. If you believe you're a Muslim, you can still apologize to him. People make mistakes. I know the pain you feel. We feel, all of us feeling the same pain. I'm a UP man. With the support we give my Ellen, she'll fail or we are not. I mean, that kind of angry the way you guys are angry. The support you people give President George Weah. I mean, he doesn't have to come and share money with you people or give you job or give you business money. You supported him for him to develop the country. The development is going on. If you don't know, military hospital is being built or is going on. The project is going on. Roads are going on. That's what we want. If I want to go to Zozo, I want to go to Zeman, I want to go to Bakedu, I want to go to Grand Cape Mount, I want to go to Bapolu, I want to go to Bomi. I mean, these are the counties I'm related to. I must have a chance from Morovia there. Within some hours, I'm in my village. That's what he's trying to do. I said it before. God is able to do anything and everything, but he cannot do everything for us. Everybody have to suffer. As far as religion is concerned, you have to apply effort before you gain the fruit of it. No effort, no fruit in religion. And no effort, no fruit in human belief. Those America in Europe people applying effort, hard working, not believing the government. The same way you blame your government, that's the same way ordinary people blame their government in America and in Europe and Australia and Canada. But they have looked at all those things and put it aside. They believe in themselves and they love themselves. They believe in their hard working and they believe they have to make their own life without government. All they want, the basic things government to provide it for them. That is security. In fact, electricity we're talking about, some part of Europe, some part of America is privatized. Government provided, like you, Brother Jabate, or whosoever, you can buy a portion of it, you be distributing it to people, and you pay tax to government. You operate your own money. Uh, I mean, you operating your own business in government facilities. These are the things we have to talk on. The government is closing doors for businesses, but no, government is opening doors for businesses, and we trying to close door for it. For God's sake, this is December, Liberia people, our tradition as a nation. I'm not talking about Mandingo, I'm not talking about Va, I'm not talking about Many, I'm not talking about Grebo, I'm not talking about Basso. Country in general, I'm not talking about Congo. Country in general. December is a month of a joy till January. Christmas normally in Liberia these days is for children, but New Year for grown up people. So you guys want to destroy it. Brother Jabate, things will work, but it's not overnight. I believe those people, yeah, you mentioned in your message, you talk to PYJ to be to make coalition with President Weah during the campaign time. You gave your support to President Weah, and but he failed. No, he hasn't failed yet. Ask yourself a question. Oh, now UL is tuition free. Calculate how many students in UL, and let's say they used to pay 400 times it per year, times it by 4 years. You know how many millions dollars is going away. This man have come and gave that money back to us because we used to pay it. He said we shouldn't pay it again. That he gave it back to us. What we want again, Liberia people? What we want, my people? Let me say it in Liberia English, or let me try to bring it in our own tone. The men facing rule, around Monrovia. Look at those community. See independent. Paved road never reached to that community. We get it. What we want again, Liberia people? What we want, we the youth. Military hospital, the army hospital. What we want again, we Liberian people. If you check around other country, around all Ivory Coast, Guinea, Sierra Leone, all those things been existing there. But we, the oldest republic country of Africa, what we want? People to be playing on all every day? No. There must be a changes. We the youth have to wake up. We have to wake up and work hard for ourselves. Government is working for us. We have to work hard for ourselves. Look, let me tell all Liberians, you believe it or not, but try to practice it. This is a practical example I'm giving you. We the ordinary Liberian, or we the ordinary African in general, we are corrupt more than our governments. Africa in general. Whosoever that you part of those group, calculate it between yourself what I'm saying. Calculate it. How many times have you given a money to your brother or your friend for a business? What was the result? And how many times our government getting foreign support? What's the result? They carry on maybe 1%, even it was 100%, but they carry on 1%. But calculate it from yourself. I gave $1,000, $100, $500 to my picking for he to do something so he can be independent on his own. At the end, the same picking as stay pumping money behind a game, or the same girl. Those that can do one two things. How many times you gave money to your girlfriend for them to develop themselves, or to your partner, or your wife, or your brothers, your sisters, your auntie, your family member? Or how many times you have come up with a project you want your community, individual, I'm not talking about group, individual, This is the problem we have. We don't love ourselves. We don't love our country. We just have a saying in our mouth, and we say we love it in our mind, but the heart is not working. We have to put our heart and our mind together to work. The connection must be there. The love must be there. Then we will know where we're heading. Liberia still ahead of things, but we're trying to destroy it. I'm telling you, it's frustrating when we look at this battle going on. But this time around, we will not let it go free. Whether it's on social media, it's on any kind of media, we are going to join the battle. Whether we will join the battle to counsel people to go away from you guys. And I believe if those whatsoever coalition you guys are from, you call it council. I don't want to even mention that those funny council or whatsoever you call those opposition political parties that come together for me whatsoever. Come on, as the opposition after election, if you fail, go back to your camp, come up with project that will develop your community, that will develop your nation, not to fight against the ruling government or parties. This is a destruction. What they love. If for real you were preaching or you were talking to all, you were campaigning to all that you all have the goals to develop Liberia or to take Liberia ahead, this is the time you have to show to us, not fighting the current government. For God's sake, if we look at our constitution, what you guys want to fight for, the president to go. According to the constitution, when the president, whatsoever, if it may happen, the vice president have to take over. You guys know what you're talking about? Where you heading? Former rebel leader Charles Taylor's wife? You guys want to bring her to power? We know the game. We have to let Liberian people to know. A woman who was with Charles Taylor killing innocent Liberian people. No, not a comment. That's a woman you guys thinking of? Because that's how our constitution says. The vice president have to take over in case anything. A woman who supported the husband 100% destroying Liberian country people. Let me get back there. During the war, you know how many people died? How many Geo people died? How many Mandingo people died? How many Kram people? How many Pele people? Because those that were involved into our war. Geo man, Kram man, Geo mano that were one. Kram man, Pele man, Mandingo man. How many people died? Some of our family members, they were, general in maybe Unimo and coming to Air Forces. Some were in the model, some were in the MPFL, IMPFL. Those people play on them. Liberian people, we have to think. We're the country people. We get VAR people or Manigo people today, they are American Liberian. Not only Congo man is called American Liberian. Whosoever is American Liberian, I class them, all of them together. American Liberian. But we, the country people, we have to think wise. We that live in Liberia or stay around Liberia or we believe in Liberia, not taking money from Liberia and pay bill with it somewhere away from Africa. Pay bill. Some people, because of our president fighting corruption, their parents build houses with Liberian people money before, and they were renting those houses back to the Liberian government. Some of the ministries, some of the government agencies were owned by individual, which of course, if we ask the question where those money came from and they build those houses, how they even get the contact, they start renting it to government, it was all corruption. This president fighting those corruption to break it down. That's why we voted for. Fight the corruption. Take them away from our resources. Bring our resources back to us. We want to enjoy it. And it's coming. They say no, we will play on them. We will buy liquor for them. We will buy jamba for them, marijuana. And pop their brain. $100, $200 American dollar can cause big problem in Monrovia. That's what they're doing. And when you look at it, it's nothing. Big brother Jabate, I'm sorry, I'm not against. I love you. Some of those people in America you are mentioning, they're sending something for you or they can send this for you. Liberia is not called for at this time. Africa in general, whether Liberia or any African country, money is there more than America. If you calculate everything, life is so sweet there more than America. Those people have realized their mistake of putting all their hope and they can't able to retreat it back home. That's why they want to cause problem and loot again to continue paying their bill or their mortgages. That's all this operation is about. If any of them trying to say the truth, they should forget about. I challenge it, and I challenge all of them. Any of them, they should forget about president. This, they come up with a project. All of them, in fact, as a whatsoever council, they can able to generate $1 million American dollars. They build school or university or even hospital as a private institution. They will never. These are the things we have to look at, we the youth. They will never. They will never. I enjoy Senator Abraham. He said, I will not give you money. Somebody will not born and they're expecting me. He said, in fact, when they come to me in my office, I will put them on waiting list. They will be there 1, 2, 3, 4. And when all of them come together, I say to them, I will not do this. Somebody born or somebody pregnant. My woman pregnant, my woman just born. He said, no. I come up with a project to develop the community. That's why you voted for me. Not that. You say, what? He asked a question. He said, sometimes I ask the question, where you expect me to get the money from? Somebody born, somebody dead, somebody die. And Yeke Koloba, when they asked him question around that same thing, he said, where the people said, will you be in favor of your salary? He said no, because the since high 15,000 or more than that 15,000. That's why when somebody born, we have to give it to them because that's why they voted for us. See, so it's so elementary, so primary, it's so late. I don't know, chalice. Yeah, somebody born. They voted for you. Somebody born. I'm not in government. None of my family members in government. Anybody in Liberia, when they born, they meet me. I can able to serve them, and they can be happy with it. It's not by somebody born. Oh, that's so sick. Somebody born and that I can give them, so I don't want my salary or to go down. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Liberian people, the youth, we have to think. We have to think. Every county in Liberia need a standard hospital. Those opposition, when it comes to, or let's be asking them, we want, forget about president, we are all this that we should give him his 6 years or so on, but we want you, as you are waiting for his 6 year, we want you to do something in our country, we want you to do something in our community, we want you to do something in our district. Then they do it, so we see, then we know they are ready for the next general election. But no, they're not doing that. They only buy, drink, and stuff for people who they believe they can give it to them and play on their mind. Get on the show. Wait. I see welcoming group. Some guy unbelievable. They calling Henry Costa the real president. Yeah. Sangalegoa, man. Real president. So when the constitution allow us to be having two presidents in the Republic of Liberia, because President William, you know, I used to preach against you during the campaign time, but since you got in power, you are trying, but you are extra cool. Liberian people, if we are in the public sectors, they seem